Hi everyone, my name is Izuchukwu, and here with me is Elom. So
Hi
today
guys.
is yeah. So we are the three guys media. Here we discuss every topic from politics, religion, entertainment, and whatever that is trending and or trending most especially in Nigeria. So for today we want to talk about religion as it relates to Nigeria, and we also want to um so on the topic of religion, we are focusing on Christianity today. So we'll start with the history of religion, and then we'll go in a bit of terms of Christianity, whether Christians are actually doing what Christ wanted them to do. From there, we talk about miracles and God intervention, free will. So stay with us as we move on to this. So, Elom,
All
I
right,
know
I'm here
like
with you.
you are a bit of a historian, so can you maybe give us a little bit of what you think about the history of religion in Nigeria, how it all started, especially if you're talking about Christianity and uh, Islam as well.
Okay. Why religion has always been there in Nigeria. I think for like even before recorded history, you've always had people worshiping different things. Like in Nigeria, you've had people worshiping mountains or worshiping a big snake or worshiping the tallest tree in their community. So they've always been religion in Nigeria even before recorded history. But then, if you talk about Christianity and Islam, most people actually see Christianity and Islam as like recent religions in Nigeria, but it's actually not true because the first time Christianity came to the first recorded time that former Christianity came to Nigeria was in I think it was around 1470. That was when the Portuguese brought Catholicism, that's like Catholicism to Benin City, and they were even able to get some people from the royal household to become Christians, and then they would
Christians.
even take yeah they even established a church in Benin City. So you see, Christian. So this was like over 500 years ago. So you see, Christianity in Nigeria has been very, very old. Some people think Christianity is like maybe they came during the colonial times, but it's actually not true. Christianity in Nigeria is actually very old, and it's over 500 years old. You have like the Holy Arusa Church established by the Portuguese in Benin City in Nigeria. And then
Yeah.
if you talk about Islam in Nigeria, well, Islam is actually older. It's a bit older than Christianity in Nigeria, in the sense that during the Arab slave trade, like I think as of about
Yeah.
11, 1200. If most people actually, you must have probably heard about Mansa Musa, who was most people actually like to refer to Mansa Musa as like the richest African king or the richest king ever. It's
Yeah.
actually popular
What
for
was it?
being the Mali
Which
Empire.
country again was that? Mali, yeah, the Mali Empire, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually very popular. But then I think they had some early. They were actually trade between the Mali Empire of Mansa Musa and then the Hausas of northern Nigeria, and then also the Kanuris of Borno State in Nigeria. And in this was as of 700, 800 years ago. So there were early trade contact between the Mali Empire under Mansa Musa and then the people of Borno State in Nigeria, as well as those in the Hausa state. They traded
Yeah.
primarily in slaves and kola nuts and salt. But then Islam also spread from them to the people of northern Nigeria. And the thing is that,
So
how will I put it? There was even before Usman Dan Fodio came 200 years ago and established the Sokoto Caliphate and
I
declared
think
the
Islam
jihad in
pre-existed before Usman. I think he
yeah
just made it
Christian.
more like to bring it
Yeah, I think he made it
make
a little
it a
bit more
government affairs
radical.
like
Yes, I think he made it more
that's to
radical because he
combine the
felt
state, yeah, to combine the state and
state
the church.
the
I
religion.
wouldn't say the church to combine the state and the religion to make it together because I think that's how Islam works. So, but you know, like there is this thing there is this trend that is going on in Nigeria now where people when you talk about the like you said earlier that Christianity predated the colonial era, but then people want to sometimes cast blame, saying that when Christianity came, we lost our culture, we lost our way, and then we just followed Christianity sheepishly. And then even when you look at the Hausas, it seems like that's the northern Nigeria. It seems like because Islam it has a way of life as well. It also comes with government, like everything is intertwined. Islam has like almost it controls almost every aspect of your life. So you see, as if that they themselves have lost their culture. Because sometimes I also look and I see the way that the Hausa people dress sometimes resemble the way that the Arab the that's should I say the Arabic people that they dress as well. So which might be some sort of similarity with because they share the same religion. So what do you think about this narrative that most Africans left uh, left their culture, accepted another form of culture without actually trying to make, because one of the things that happened with, let's say, Eastern Europe, even with the spread of Christianity, and even in Europe itself, what Emperor Constantine did, especially with Catholic Church, is that they tried to embed their own culture to make it more acceptable to their people inside Catholicism, which is why this idea of we worship pagan, we worship idols, idol worshiping. Even like with Christmas, I think they replaced Christmas. There was a Roman celebration that they replaced Christmas with. Christmas wasn't the day that Jesus Christ was born.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Sunday.
They never said it was.
Yeah. So, but the truth is, they tried to make it their own. They took it, made it their own. That's the Europeans. And then when he went, even the Eastern Europeans know their own form of church is different. The Orthodox church. So they also took it
Yeah.
and made it to align with their own culture. But it seems like when it came to Africa, we just took everything. There was no question asked. We just took everything, even though some of it didn't align with our way of life. We just took everything, assimilated, and mm, we even became more religious than the people that brought the religion to us. So, what do you think about that narrative?
Well, it depends. It's not completely as you might look at it. Like, I think as
Mm,
regards Christianity, I think the majority of Africans practice Christianity in their own way. Like, I think
yeah.
most Africans, like, it's very common if you go to some cities in, actually here in Nigeria, you go to some cities, you have like a church every two streets. Some churches are just people's homes that during weekends on Sundays they come together to like worship together. They have their speakers. There's really no format on how you can practice your Christianity here. So I think when it comes to Christianity, I think Nigerian Christians and African Christians in particular, they've adopted it to their own way. They still follow like the date set by like say organized churches like the Catholic Church for Easter and all those things. But then when it comes to the actual
How
worship,
did they accept it? Like, what specifically did Christians do that maybe brought in their own culture? It's because we see
no,
it is
no,
either
okay,
in Christianity, if you're a Christian and let's say, let me give you an example now. In my own village, if for instance you know what they call onyishi, that's the elders in the maybe clan or whatever. So when people want to
yeah.
take that title, they like there was a time you want to take that title, the church will frown at it that you are not doing it in a certain way. So there are some cultural practices that would have been done, but then now because some people are Christians, they choose not to do it. And then even the Igwe, like giving, which I know is not even part of Igbo culture, but like it's as if the church is trying to, like take over everything. They're trying to erase one part of culture, replace it with the other. So people losing their identity because of religion, and they don't even seem to understand that that's what they're doing. So, like, that's why I'm saying, like, we, like, that people feed that narrative. And this is one of the reasons why, if you look at people that are clamoring for Biafra, so those people that are clamoring for Biafra, they have this mindset that, okay,
Yeah,
uh,
Jewish people.
no, no, not even Jewish people, not Jewish people. There's this mindset of they don't want to associate themselves with Christianity. So they want to be like traditionalists now, like they want to go back to the old way.
Yeah.
So they feel like the Igbo people in particular lost themselves to Europeans or to Christianity. So they want to bring all those things back because they obviously they blame the colonial masters for what Biafrans are facing or what Igbo people are facing through in Nigeria. So that's what they feel. So do you think there is a legitimate claim to that?
Well, not really, because even when you look at these people that claims that colonialism brought Christianity and it's affecting the Igbo people in Nigeria, you still have to look at it this way that even when Nnamdi Kanu, I think before he was arrested, when he was
Yeah.
speaking, he would say something like, "Don't go to Yoruba church," So the fact that someone like Nnamdi Kanu can tell you, "Don't go to Yoruba church," it actually means that people in Nigeria practice Christianity in their own way. For someone like Nnamdi Kanu that has like a lot of admirers to say to use that term, a Yoruba church, it therefore creates the notion that if there's a Yoruba church, then there's an Igbo church, and then there's an Hausa church, and so on and so forth. So this gives credence to the, like I said earlier, that Nigerians practice Christianity in their own way, and I don't think Christianity has not really erased the culture of Nigerians, in the sense that in the southern part of Nigeria, where we have predominantly more Christians, where Christianity is like the predominant religion, you have people
Yeah.
answering a Christian name or maybe a foreign name, and then also answering their local name. Those
No, that
kind of so.
this brings me. I even forgot to raise this
I'm
point
coming.
because
I'm coming.
this
I'm
point
coming. I'm
are
coming.
reason.
No, no, I'm coming.
Okay, continue, continue.
So you have people answering their local name and then a foreign name at the same
Yeah,
time. But then, if you check the north, where we have people practicing Islam, like the core north of Nigeria, you have people practicing. I think they practice probably they claim to practice a more hardcore version of Islam. Like in northern Nigeria, as a lady, you are mandated to like cover your hair. You're mandated to cover your hair and all those kind of stuff when you're
yeah,
when you're going out. But then, if you look at it, if you look at it, you're mandated to wear hijab. But then if you go to Saudi Arabia or Dubai or Qatar, do even as a Muslim lady, you're not mandated to cover your hair unless when you're going inside the mosque. But then in northern
yeah.
Nigeria, as a lady,
I
you
think
you have to you
they're
have to like
becoming
you have
more liberal. They're becoming
yeah,
more
they're
liberal.
becoming
But
more
before,
liberal.
but before,
But then
before,
also I'm
before,
coming like,
before,
okay, go on.
before we even get into that, like these 2 points that you made now, it just proves the point I was making that with Christianity and with Islam coming into Africa, we lost our culture. Because why should you give your son or your child an English name, a Christian name? I mean, I remember when, as a Catholic, I remember when I wanted to do confirmation, they said you have to choose a saint's name. Like, why? how many Igbo saints do we have? How many Nigerian saints do we have?
You see how
You know,
many Igbo said do we have? Well, we have, well, like, how I put it, we have Blessed Tansi, no?
they
Saint
have
Malumba is an
only blessed
Africa.
as
Saint
he's not
Malum,
a saint. He's not a saint.
yes,
So,
okay.
but if
Saint
then what
Malumba,
of the Hausas that all their names, most of their names are Islamic?
that's what I'm
And
saying.
now,
That
when your name is Islamic, it is Arabic in nature, obviously. So, like, why they? Because sometimes it will even be difficult for them to like know. Like, I don't think any normal, like, let's say somebody from the north, from the south, knows what is an Hausa name and then an Islamic name. I don't even know I don't even think if it still exists today.
it does. Like when you have like President Buhari, you have like Muhammadu Buhari. So obviously, Buhari is a Fulani name. It's not an Arabic name. You have Atiku Abubakar. Atiku is actually a Fulani name. It's not an Arabic name, and the list goes on and on and on. You know,
But
but then
why combine it with Islamic names? Like, that's just
it's
why
no, it's just like it,
you answering only Hausa name doesn't make you less Muslim. You answering only Igbo name or only Yoruba name
yes, yes, yes. I get, but
is even
then
more predominant in Igbo people, because the Yorubas, most of them will even give, you will see a
they are
Yoruba guy,
Muslims.
they won't even
They
be
don't,
answering
they don't.
any they are Christians, but they don't even have an English name,
The same thing,
you know.
the same thing to Yoruba Muslims. You could see if Yoruba
Yeah.
Muslims answer Fodelu
No,
Akeredolu, and then you say
Yoruba
Muslim.
Muslims, so they do answer Islamic name as well. A good
No,
percentage
fewer
of
than
them.
20% of them. No, fewer
Like
than 20% of them.
Rukiyat, Islam. I don't know. Anyway. But
I
anyway,
don't know. Sure.
I think this we're going to be moving into the next topic anyway, which is are we doing what Christ wanted? So so maybe we'll discuss that in the next video, I think.
All right. Okay, so are we starting now?
Uh okay. Think we should pause now.
Okay, sure.